All right, on the line with me, former world champion, two-time WWE champion. He's done it all. King of the Ring, 2012 Royal Rumble winner from last year, and you'll be competing in the Royal Rumble again this Sunday on pay-per-view. Sheamus, how you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Just chilling out here in Phoenix, Arizona before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Just enjoying a couple of days off. Just get me head right. How about you doing, man? How's everything going for you, fella?
You know, last time we talked, it was great. Now it's even better. That's how it goes. But it's better for you because you're in Phoenix, Arizona. It's probably beautiful there. I wonder, though, did you draw your number yet, dude?
No, I didn't draw the number yet, no. We'll draw the number when we get there. It'll be the morning of the Rumble when we go in, and we'll get all the stuff. We'll do all the press conference, and then we'll draw the Rumble and get our heads right, get a plan together for the actual match itself.
How do you feel, though, Sheamus? Like going in?
I feel great.
Good. It's good you're feeling all right, but you got to have a strategy. I mean, well, not really a strategy, but just to draw the number. I mean, number 30, you want that. It sounds good, but doesn't always win. What number are you looking for?
You know, I really don't care. I go number one. I go in number one. I'm not gonna moan about it because guess what? You're gonna have to win. You're gonna have to win that number either way. I don't really have a particular number. Everyone knows I love a good fight. I love to be at the thick of the action. I think there's also a lot to be said about if you go in early. If you go in at number one or number two and you last till the very end and we even win it, it's an amazing feat to do that. You know, there's not many people who have done that in the history of the Rumble. I think Michaels may have done it, but I think it's a cool way. It's a cool way to do it. So I'm not going to argue either way. The fact I'm in there with a shot at main event in WrestleMania for the second year in a row. I have a shot at winning the Royal Rumble for the second year in a row. That's good enough for me, Brian. As I said, I'm fired up and I'm ready to make 2013 even better. 2012. As hard as that's going to be, but I'm up for the challenge.
No, I know you are. So when you won the Rumble last year, I think it was Jericho you were in there with last. And a lot of people watching, yeah. I mean, look, Jericho's been around. He's got a huge name. At the time, you were starting to build your name even more. I think a lot of people thought Jericho was going to take that. Then you win. What was the atmosphere like in the arena when you won the Rumble last year? How did you feel?
You know, it was, how did I feel, man? I thought top of the world. it was kind of surreal. It's something that doesn't hit you right away. I mean, it's like anything. It's like when I won the WWE Championship. When I had it in my hand, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to remember. There's a sense of euphoric sense. Like it's kind of like you've done everything to get this far, and all of a sudden you're all WWE Championship, or you've won the Royal Rumble, a match that I've watched since I was a kid, a match that hasn't had too many winners in the history of it. There's a couple of guys who won it multiple times, but you could list off the guys fairly easy. And when you're standing in the ring and the WrestleMania logo is just firing up and you're standing there, and I mean the crowd went nuts. I know. I mean, no one knew what was going to happen, and me and Jericho went back and forth for such a long time as well. There was a lot of almost and nearly theirs, and to the very end. So I just remember it just being one of the highlights of my career, my life. So, and I'm just looking forward to doing that again.
It led you to face Daniel Bryan, and I guess we'll call it the infamous 18-second match at WrestleMania 28. Now, I was there live, and I got to tell you, I told Daniel Bryan this too. I'm in the crowd. Everyone's pumped up for that match. You bro kick him in the face, and I was like, I thought the guy next to me was going to punch me in the mouth because he was so mad. The match was so quick. He was a big fan of yours, but I think he came from Ireland. So, I guess they were glad you won. What were your emotions? I mean, it's the biggest stage in the mall. You do get the 18-second win. You get the win, but would you like to have gone out there and shown your wares a little more? Were you upset by that?
Of course I was, and I'll talk about that as well. The whole point was the reason behind all that too is, obviously the match before in Raw when got used AJ's distraction to help beat me, and then went to Mania, and I wasn't sure if he was going to do that again. And when you're champion, there's a lot of ways you can get out of certain things, especially when there's no stipulation involved. And over the couple of months before we got to Mania, there wasn't the biggest build-up. There wasn't really the biggest build-up there for us. Obviously, there was a lot of Taker and Hunter, Rock and Cena, Jericho and Punk had done that thing. Really, their feud really started from around the Rumble time. So it heated up there. But I think for me and Brian, that 18-second, even though it was short, I mean, I know everyone wants to see that WrestleMania match between me and Brian, which Daniel Bryan, which we were very capable of, as we've shown so many times in matches throughout the last couple of years. we went into Extreme Rules, I believe, as the hottest match on that show. And I believe that, I know Brock came back and everything, but I'm a firm believer that people really wanted to see me and Brian go at it. And I think that 2 out of 3 falls match we had stole the show. So in the bigger picture of WrestleMania and Extreme Rules, I felt, and Brian feels too as well, you know, that like the Extreme Rules match we had is one of our best.
Oh, no, it definitely was. It was awesome. And I think of it like this. WrestleMania 27, I was excited for your match. I thought it was going to be like a sleeper/show stealer.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But you got bumped and all. Then 28 happens, 18 seconds. Everyone's like, oh, but hey, you made a lot of money quickly, right? That's all that matters.
Well, I probably drank it all in the bar straight after. You know what's funny, though? I'll be honest with you. Like Daniel Bryan to me is one of the most talented superstars in there. I mean, from when he started, like, I don't know whether I'm being arrogant presumption here or not, but, like, I like to think that the paths that we've taken together are pretty similar. Like, I know Daniel Bryan, like, he came in, you know, obviously got fired after the Nexus thing when that went down. He kind of like the scapegoat, and then he came back again. And then, you know, he made a huge impact. He was fresh-faced. He was very athletic. He seemed like people didn't know much about him. There wasn't, you know, he just knew that he was good in the ring. And then now he's like, if you watch him now, and after stuff with the AJ and the Mania thing and the yes, no, and the hell no, and the psychiatrist, and he has become one of the most rounded and talented superstars easily in the WWE. And like, he's so entertaining. And he can back it up in the ring, which is, you know, it's something that, you know, you need to do, you know, to become like a future Hall of Famer. Everything. I think Daniel Bryan is definitely that. I think he's really come into his own and shown exactly what he can do. And I think that me and Brian haven't seen the last of each other. He's one of my favorite opponents to get in there with, and who knows? Maybe in the Rumble there might be a moment between us two.
Oh, you know, that's one of the great things about the Royal Rumble. Sometimes guys collide that normally wouldn't, or maybe guys reignite an old feud. You never know what you're going to see, and the crowd goes nuts for this stuff. So that's awesome. But if you do collide with Brian, I'm sure a lot of people would want to see that. But you want to go back. You say you guys had similar roads, you and Daniel Bryan. You once told me that in 2002, Bret Hart made a recommendation for some wrestling schools, and then you kind of you got hurt, and then you really made the decision to go full tilt in 2005. What's one thing you think that the 2013 Sheamus, who's a little more wise now, would kind of give advice to the 2005 Sheamus? Is there something maybe you could say to that person at the time?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. I think, looking back there, I think I'd give myself advice in 2002 when I first started. I think it was like when I went over to school, and, you know, I don't know if I was mentally prepared or whatever, but I went to that school in New Jersey, and, you know, it wasn't the greatest school. I didn't really learn too much, but, I'm not that distant school, but I don't think, there was a lot of stuff that wasn't planned, and, you know, there was no real, like, plan of action, you know. I just knew I wanted to become a WWE superstar. I think I would have had more idea, more planning into what I was doing. I would have not come to America in 2002. I would have stayed over where I was in UK and Ireland, maybe gone to UK, like train with Robbie Brookside or whatever it was, and just had an earlier start. I was just fortunate I got a chance to get back in there in 2005 with the opening of an Irish wrestling school, where you know, I got a chance to just get in the ring, and, you know, I was always trying to better myself, and obviously going to the UK then afterwards and getting in there with, like, guys like Robbie Brookside definitely helped progress my career. But, you know, I think that the decisions we make, you know, I don't think it's going to need to go back and change them, because they're what got you here right now. And I think making those mistakes along the way are what make you better and make you wiser. And I think just get past that. Sometimes it's, you know, you miss half the fun.
Well, that's true, and it all comes down to where you're going this Sunday. The road to WrestleMania starts at the Royal Rumble. We always like to say that. And before I let you go, WrestleMania, of course, coming to New Jersey, the MetLife Stadium. It's going to be huge. But it's April 7th, and I keep thinking, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but April 7th in New Jersey, that's going to be a little cold. How are they going to do that? Aren't you? You're going to have to be there in a jacket.
I heard they're going to be giving a Giant Gonzalez airbrush suits to everybody. That's the plan. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll get a real tasty white one. I'll be good.
All right, Sheamus, thank you so much for coming on today. I wish you a lot of luck at the Royal Rumble. Always a pleasure. Thanks for visiting with us. Don't forget the Royal Rumble live on pay-per-view this Sunday. I say it's like the second biggest show of the year under WrestleMania because it leads to WrestleMania.
I agree.
You excited? You ready to go?
I can't wait, man. I'm already here in Phoenix. I can't wait for Sunday. Enjoy the Rumble, mate.
All right, man. Looking forward to it. Make sure you order it on pay-per-view. Sheamus, thanks again for visiting with us.
My pleasure. Always a pleasure, fella. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy. See ya.